Hi, my name is Dr. Amrit Sangera, and I'm the chiropractor here at Haldeman Physiotherapy Center in Caledonia. We're located here in the Caledonia Old Mill. That's been revamped, actually. But today we'll be going over the topic of gaming and ergonomics. Let me just share the slides here with you guys. All right. So let's get into it. So we'll be exploring basically the intersection between gaming and ergonomics for a healthier gaming experience. And as an avid gamer myself, who grew up from a very young age playing many video games, as my dad, for some reason, bought me a ton of them to keep me occupied, I guess. I spent endless hours in front of the TV, in front of gaming consoles, everything like that, and just trying to find every little secret in every little game. But I know from personal experience the strain that gaming can put on the body itself. And so I feel like this is an important topic to cover as more and more individuals come and start playing games more often now and are living a bit more of that sedentary life. It can help be preventative for some of those future conditions. Many children right now are spending a lot of their free time playing games, and it could be causing them harm on their bodies in the long term or even in the short term. So without having proper posture, proper ergonomics, and proper lifestyle. So we'll just be reviewing that all today. And so in the presentation today, we'll be focusing on gaming specifically at a computer desk, okay? So what is ergonomics? It's often referred to as the science of design or human factors engineering. So essentially it focuses on creating environments and products that sort of enhance the human well-being and the performance. In the context of gaming, or sort of aiming to optimize the gaming experience while minimizing the risk of discomfort and injury. Some components of the desk setup include desks, keyboard, mice, chairs, like footrests, everything like that. And these are all to put an emphasis on maintaining proper posture and then minimizing stresses on the bodies. And then the biggest factor is essentially the layout of all of this equipment. Before we really dive into all of that equipment, we're going to be going over some of the common health issues. So firstly, there can be a lot of eye strain that can happen while gaming. So prolonged exposure to screens can lead to this eye strain. Some symptoms can be like dry eyes, irritated eyes, redness, blurred vision, things like that. And so we want to try to minimize that with having better equipment there, and better knowledge in how to prevent this from happening. Back pain is big problem we find nowadays with our sedentary and seated lifestyle, especially in our jobs, schools, and at homes. That poor posture during gaming, especially when sitting for those extended periods of time, can contribute to that back pain. Carpal tunnel syndrome, this is essentially a condition that happens in the wrists, and this can be from that typing, using the mouse, and all of those fast motions just constantly while you're gaming, or even while holding a controller. Neck and shoulder pain, as we all know, we all sit with our heads way too forward from our shoulders and trying to maintain proper seated posture. Is It's a hard thing to do, but with proper equipment and ergonomics, we can sort of prevent this from happening, and causing all of that neck and shoulder pain. Okay. Sleep disruption, all of that exposure to bright lights and screens and everything like that, it can really disrupt all of your sleep patterns and make sleeping at night a little bit harder. Dehydration is a big one also. People get so immersed in whatever they're doing and they're having so much fun and they're not really thinking about how their body's feeling. Not drinking water is a big one, and you can lead to some dehydration. And also in the gaming world, there's tons and tons of advertisements for energy drinks and all of these super high sugar, high caffeine drinks. And those won't keep you hydrated. They'll just make you more dehydrated at the end of the day. So just keeping water and stuff nearby to help prevent that dehydration. Okay. Um, let's get into some of the setups for gaming. So in the picture here, you can see there's no chair shown in this one, but it sort of gives you an idea of what we want to look for and the key areas to focus on. So the first one is a proper chair. This doesn't necessarily have to be a gaming chair specifically, but rather a chair that has multiple adjustable components, okay? Just so we can hit all of these areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that will a proper chair to support that whole area. If we focus on number 2 here, the low back, that is a big one. So when you're looking for a chair, you want to make sure it has a good low back support, so a lumbar support, just to help support the curve of the spine at the low back. And then you want something with a comfortable material that's breathable, because as you know, if you're sitting on a non-breathable surface for a long time, you can heat up and it can be like more irritating to your body. And then you want something that has a good flat supportive bottom to make sure that your thighs are straight across it and that they're fully supported there. And you want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor, so something that's height adjustable. So going up and down would be very good. So getting a chair with a lumbar support and height adjustable would be very beneficial. Next, we're going to look into the forearms here. So we're number 6. So you want this sort of minimal bend at the wrist. And how we're going to achieve that is we're going to get the chair that we have, you're going to want to make sure it has arm supports. So, and you want to make sure that they are adjustable, because that's the big factor here. Because if they're there, but they're too short, they're not going to be of benefit. So having arm supports for your chair that is adjustable, you can adjust the arm support to the height of the desk. So your arm is supported, your forearm is supported by the chair of the arm of the chair, and then your hand can rest at the same level on the desk. Okay, and creating that minimal bend, keeping the shoulders relaxed and down. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to the monitor positioning, because this can be a big factor. So essentially here you can see the monitor is sort of at a higher level than where the keyboard is, which is a big factor in helping to keep the monitor at a good level. So stacking up a monitor on something higher would be beneficial, but the key component here is where the top of the monitor lies. So to reduce neck strain, so you're not straining up looking at a monitor or looking down and pushing your neck forward or anything like that, you want to make sure the top of the monitor is just below your eye level, essentially. So like right about here would be good. Okay, so usually propping it up higher so that it is just below that eye level would be the best position for it, just to help keep your neck in the most neutral position and the most comfortable position also for your eyes. All right. And then you want to make sure that your desk has enough space for all of your equipment, that nothing is cramped. So good sized desk, keep it clutter free. That's always beneficial. Mouse and a keyboard, you can always buy something that is ergonomic, an ergonomic keyboard. Some of them have different layouts, might be more comfortable for you. It's all about finding what fits you best for those ones. Different mouses, mice, essentially, some you can hold like this one I'm having here. It's just a regular old little mouse. It's comfortable for me. I never have problems, but people who do have some problems in the wrist, they might opt for a mouse that is more of in an ergonomic position where they're sort of holding it instead of like this, you hold it like this and you move it around. So that can be more beneficial for some of those maybe carpal tunnel patients. Let's see. A big accessory that I find very helpful is getting a what do you call them, additional support in front of your keyboard. So it's just a foam pad. It's a wrist rest, basically. So it rests right here where you see the number 6 right by your wrist. It would rest right in front of the keyboard, and that just gives a little something to support your wrist while you're typing, and it's just like a memory foam pad. So they have a keyboard wrist rest and also a mouse wrist rest. All right, so that can really help for that. Lastly is lighting. So lighting can be a really big factor in terms of eye strain. If the lights are all off behind you, just your monitor is on, it's blaring in your eyes, super bright, that's not going to be very beneficial for you. And it's going to put a real big strain on your eyes for trying to sort of have that, keeping that focus on that bright screen is really going to strain the eyes. So making sure you have well distributed and adjustable lighting around to help reduce that eye strain would be optimal. Okay. And then we went through all of these. So getting an ergonomic chair rather than a specific gaming label chair is also more optimal because these gaming chairs that are listed on the market, they're not very ergonomic actually. Getting an office chair is much more ergonomic than getting a gaming chair. So really looking for that wording sometimes can help you find the better option. Okay. And then we went over the ergonomic keyboard, mouse, and monitor. The headset is also a big factor. A lot of people have these big headsets that rest on their head, and then that can cause sort of some pressure points on the head. It can cause headaches, and then around the ears, if the ear cuffs sort of press on the ears, it sort of causes the ears to be inflamed and red, which I've had many times before until I found proper headset to wear. So my recommendations are either get a headset that goes way over the ears, so covering all around and not putting any pressure right on the ear itself, and then getting something that is lightweight so that it's not bearing down on your head too much. The alternative would be just getting an earbud, like earbuds to put in the ear. They do make some great ones now, and that eliminates all of those pressure points that you could have with a headset. We went over the mouse pad and the wrist rest and the desk and chair compatibility. Okay. And then a big factor is the budget considerations. So while it is sort of tempting to invest in these high-end gaming peripherals, always consider your budget constraints and sort of prioritize the more essential ergonomic features, such as the chair and getting maybe some wrist rest, some wrist supports, or things that would suit you and yourself while you're gaming. Okay, so where you're having a bit more of a problem area, maybe look into getting something for that specific area. Um, on the computers as well, they have some blue light filters usually, and some like night light features, like this one I'm showing here in the picture. It shows the night light that you can turn on at a certain time. And these sort of reduce the blue light and those brighter colors down. It sort of mutes them to have less strain on the eye. And it also helps especially this nightlight feature, to eliminate that blue light, which usually can lead to worse off sleep after you're staring at the screen for so long, and it can help to decrease that eye strain again, because that is a big factor. So yeah, having these blue light filters and different monitor settings is definitely important. And then setting a screen curfew. I would say an hour before bed, probably stop gaming, and then don't do any sort of screen-based activities, and do some more maybe do some reading with a book, or do some other activities that don't involve screens, okay? Because the screens really sort of limit how we can fall asleep and our sleep quality at night. Lastly, we're just going into just creating healthy habits. So having that time management, having that sleep curfew, it will be really great in sort of managing some of those symptoms and those prolonged gaming sessions. Essentially, don't sit at the computer straight for 5 hours. Make sure you have maybe a timer to go off. Just stand up, move around, do stretches, maybe do some activity, eat some food, get some water, things like that. Just sort of creating these healthy habits in your lifestyle will create a more balanced lifestyle and will help to prevent some of these conditions that may arise while you are sort of gaming. All right, so if you are experiencing pain and symptoms from gaming, then feel free to reach out to the clinic. Again, our name is Haldeman Physiotherapy Center, and we're located here in Caledonia. You can send the clinic an email. Let us know that you watched the gaming and ergonomics presentation, and we'll send you our top 5 stretches to prevent some injury and harm with gaming, okay? Here you can find our name, Haldeman Physiotherapy Center in Caledonia, Ontario. Here's our phone number, 905-765-5449. And here's our email address so you can email us to receive those exercises, okay? It's ifeelgood@haldemanphysio.ca. All right, take care and bye.